How to invade the United States. Well, for the last 30 years, we have had insurgency in these directions. This is the Canadian border, Mexican border, Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean. And that's like a really bad drawing of Alaska. Here are the Rocky Mountains, which are essentially our Swiss Alps. Through strategic business, you can control the entire Rocky Mountain area. It's very, well, that's where I live right now. And it is tourist oriented. And considering what's going on in California, Oregon, Washington, and Alaska versus Florida with, other Latin implants. You have the northern. You can, well, this is mainly desert right here. This is all desert. This up here is hardly habitable. Same as up here. And you have the Great Lakes. And you have, import. It's just the main Rocky Mountain area has a lot of international investment right now. And so people are being pushed outward, or they're set against themselves. Americans fighting Americans. And amendments are being restricted. We have amendments here being just gone, and people here are flooding into it. And so this whole area is like a landing zone. These are mountains, forests, everything that sort of comes into this. Canada. And they're anti-American. They've been coming to the country too and just taking over city roles. I mean, I'm in Colorado and we have Canadians here trying to participate in city government. They don't understand conflict of interest, let alone just fundamental values of the Constitution. And they manipulate everything to their own advantage. So we're left to sort of defend ourselves, just like everything else. And this whole area, it seems like this right here is where a margin of real Americans are left. And they are restricted between an entire area of just the exact same Californian thing. So Americans from here are being pushed out. A lot of them are so passive. It's pathetic. They're vindictive people too. So they come, a lot of them settle in this main area here, central United States. And they are very predatorial. And they really want to take from you. And Texas has really started coming here as well. And the Texans, they're who they are. The point is, the Rocky Mountains are our Swiss Alps. And through international investment and foreign investment and the rest of the country restricting and constricting into these zones, we've really reached a point where, and if you've ever been to Colorado, there are a lot of in-plant workers too. I mean, people here can't even support themselves in this greater area here. And so, if there is a war and an invasion landing here and here and here, everything pushes in. It always restricts. Everything's surrounded, and well, a lot of this is uninhabitable. So it's kind of like Russia, if you think about it, in the Second World War, or the burning treaty or burning land strategy or whatever it is. There's nothing there, to be put blatantly. And so, with the insurgency from the South for the last 30 years, 5 million people bringing God knows what into this country. And if you can bring cocaine in, what the hell can't you bring in? And it's just, you gotta ask yourselves of the community that you live in. And people are really trying to push you out, for being honest. What are people actually lying about? And I mean, it's just so there's a lot of foreign investment going on in Colorado. European investment, Asian investment, and people can't support themselves here anymore. Everything's becoming condominiums. Housing payments are failing. You're losing what you're trying to invest in. And the rest of the nation is left. This is all farmland for the most part. Uninhabitable. And if you look at the percentage of capital to foreign bodies, foreign implants, how much money goes back to Mexico, it's always bringing more people in. It's never helping to change the problems of Mexico. And growing up in a small town that was overrun by Hispanic immigrants, they pushed out everybody. We were talking places I grew up going to, RCA, just corner stores, and they would sell pancakes when I was like 5 or 6 years old, or all gone, turned into Hispanic trade and flea markets selling fake shoes. And eventually you'll start seeing the pattern, and you'll realize it's an insurgency. It's not sharing culture. It's not sending money back to help fix the problems of another nation that we're trying to ally with. And the American culture has been blamed for taking from the natives, but I mean, if you research South American history and you understand true genocide, you'll know you can't experience any of these cultures. The Incans, the Mayans, the Aztecs, there's others I can't think right now, but it's quite disappointing to me that the last philosophical society through history, every philosophical society has been contaminated by empires and slaughtered and removed. And there's a reason why the world has constantly sprouted philosophy, only to trample over it, because I think people are willing to exploit vulnerability no matter the cost or cost. So, like I was saying, with foreign investment in the Rocky Mountains, and this is being our Swiss Alps, and that we have these fallback zones, and that everybody coming this way really is dealing with sort of a Russian variant, and this and that are similar, this whole area. This is what we defend. That there isn't really much we can do against 7 billion people, and we've lost all their manufacturing. And the whole world blames us for their problems and blames you when you don't help them.